R1SE, hang on. Actually, funny thing yesterday, Ashton was in the middle of teaching and a pigeon comes flying into the window. Absolutely packed us up, she did, which was fairly amusing, I have to say. Sorry, Ashton, it was funny. Alrighty, so we have got about a minute left. I've just got a massive pile of weight outside. If you are enjoying our school classes and you want to borrow some weights, just message us, social media somehow, and we'll grab some and either drop them off, or that's probably the easiest if we drop them to you. Just make sure you don't live in Timbuktu, somewhere around the local area. So if you want some weights to borrow for the school class, just let us know. Coolio. But here we are in for Flex 15. So if you've not done this round, we've been going for a couple of weeks nearly now. Lots of fun, lots of challenges for you, lots of balancing, strength work, all our faves, with our Jazzy Wildcards at the end. So we've got a little over 30 seconds. I hope you're feeling all well and good this morning, and we shall come down onto our mats and make a start. So we're going to start in a child's pose. So if you come down onto the mat and take the knees out wide, big toes to touch, you might want to spend a couple of breaths kneeling up, just to invigorate the spine, in through the nose, and out through the mouth. Maybe just starting to close the eyes a little bit, feeling that breath as we just wait for the clock to tick down. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Flex 15. We are live and we are about to get going in a wide leg child's pose. So taking the knees out wide, allowing the fingertips to creep forwards, bringing the forehead down either onto a cushion, onto a brick, or all the way down onto the floor. Letting the hips sink down towards the heels and extending the arms out in front of you. So if you imagine you are hanging off a cliff face, you press your fingertips into the floor and actively grip on with all your might and slide those shoulder blades away from the ears. You get this great stretch out through the top of the shoulders. So we're just breathing into our child's pose here. Nice stretch out through the whole of the back body, working into those hips. Just extending away after our night of slumber. Just breathing into the body here for another 3. Big breath in and out. Feeling right into the belly. Feel those lungs expand and release. One more little belly breath here. Inhale. You feel the chest pressing against the thighs in your child's pose. And then release. Well done. Start to press into the fingertips once more as you roll up through the spine, finding your way into a down facing, into a blooming head, Jen, come on, into a tabletop. Making sure the knees are underneath the hips and then walking the hands underneath the shoulders. So just going to take a few cat-cows and we'll warm up the wrists a little bit more. So working with the cat-cow, make sure your pointer finger is facing forwards, actively squeezing the upper arms in together and making sure that the navel is drawn in towards the lower part of your spine. So inhaling, lifting the chest, letting the belly drop down towards the floor as you tilt the sit bones up and back. And then as you breathe out again, you release that breath from the body. Want to round through the spine, letting the head dangle down towards the ground. You find space between the vertebrae. Again, a little squeeze through the belly here. Working with your breath, we're going to take another 3 full rounds of this cat-cow flow. Starting to lubricate the joints. Starting to wake up the spine. Extending through the chest as you lift. And also start to fire up the glutes a little bit as well as you round through the back. You can always drop the hips to heels on the way on that exhale, and then inhale, scoop the chest between the upper arms. A nice variation, just a bit more of a larger movement. And when you finish that third one, just taking your way back to table, taking the fingers to face in towards one another. So we're just going to warm up the wrists a little bit. So big middle toe, big tall finger facing inwards. And then from there, we're going to take an inhale to the left, back to centre, to the right. Try to keep the arms fairly straight, but don't lock them out. You're going to need some bend there in order to be able to move one way, then the other. So the reason that we're doing this is we're stretching out the extensors and flexors through the wrists. Okay, make this your last one and then come back to centre. We're going to twist the hands around so they're facing back towards the knees. And this time we're going to move the weight backwards and forwards. So just checking with the elbows here, make sure we're not looking out again. And then using the crown of the head to guide you forwards on the inhale. And then exhale, let the hips come towards the back end of your mat. Try and keep the heels of the hands planted to get that extra lengthening through the wrist flexors there. And again, stretching back. So just using the body weight, rolling forwards. Keep that belly squeeze on as well. Might as well keep those abs switched on. Full breath in. And out. Nice work. Releasing the hands. You want to give them a little circle, rotation one way then the other. If that feels like a nice release. And then from here we're going to take a leg extension. So extending out the right leg, gaze down to start off with. Inhale, see if you can bring the knee towards the nose. So we're back into that rounding through the spine again. And again, lengthen to extend. Think of that energy line coming out the big toe and the crown of the head. Squeezing it. See if you can round through the shoulder blades a bit more. And extend. One more. Squeeze. And release long, lovely. Bringing your right knee down. Let's take the same on the left side. So inhale, prepare, lift up the left knee. Exhale, extend long. Try not to roll all the way onto your right side for this one. Try to keep the hips and shoulders even. Squeezing on the breath in. And release the leg long on the breath out. Keep squeezing the upper arms together. So we've got really active arms here. Keep rolling the upper arms towards each other. Like you're trying to expose the inside of the elbow towards the front edge of your mat. Okay, just give me one more on this side. Inhale, squeezing in. And exhale, extend. And then floating down both knees underneath the hips and then drop the hips to the heels. Taking a lovely little twist just to release. Taking the left hand onto the right knee. Reach up and over with that right arm. Bring the arms close to the ear as you can, releasing the hand behind the toe. Sit up tall, squeezing that belly, and then start to release the breath, taking the gaze around the right side of your space, wherever you're in. Taking a breath in and releasing a little bit deeper. So give me another breath round the back here. Try not to yank the head around. Make sure that we're moving from the torso. Sitting up nice and tall. And then releasing all the way back through centre. Swap it over, right hand onto the left knee. Inhale, reach up, reach over with that left hand. Pop the hand down. And exhale again. Start that journey around through the torso. So it's not using the eyes, it's not using the head, it's using this weight. So imagine drawing your belly button over towards the left hand side. Nice tall spine, doing really well. Inhale. And exhale. And just being okay with where you get to today, really doesn't matter as long as it feels nice. Working your way back through centre. From here we're going to take an extension of one leg then the other. Just readjust the hands if you need to, find that lovely plank shape, taking the pointer finger forwards. You can take a kneeling plank if you want at any time during this session instead of our full plank. So taking the weight forwards, exhaling, elbows tucking in, lower down into that low plank, and just hold at the bottom of this low plank for me. So this is really going to test your arm strength and your legs. If you can engage the quads by lifting and squeezing into the quads, lifting the kneecaps, pressing the heels away. Take that inhale and start to lift up through the chest, finding upward facing dog. So the knees can come down towards the ground, shoulders relaxing away from the ears, or you can lift up those knees if you like. And then exhale your way back into your down dog from here. So lots of knee bend. If this is your first down dog of the day, just like it is mine, you'll take lots of knee bend, lots of swaying around for the hips. Always feels nice for the hips, I think. Just take a little bit of movement here. Let the head dangle down, gaze towards the toes. Again, think about, if you can, squeezing those upper arms in and strengthening through the arms. Press through the fingertips. Same as how we were doing with our child's pose at the beginning. Maybe lifting one heel of the hand up and then the other. So you're taking a lift and a lower from side to side through the heels of the hands and the heels of the feet. Of course, you can ignore all of that. You can keep the hands firmly planted and you can keep the feet planted as well if this is your bag and this is how you like to spend your warm-up. So taking another breath in and then releasing, letting the shoulders release, letting length through the spine, and then taking the gaze towards your thumbs, taking a little knee bend as we walk the toes forwards. So bringing the feet to hip distance apart, inhale, find a nice flat back and a halfway lift. Take that release as you exhale, soften the knees again if you need to, coming down into your forward fold. So think about this hinge from the waist and just using the upper body
as your counterbalance, allowing your head to drop down towards the ground. And you can keep lots of knee bend here in your forward fold. Sometimes it feels really nice to take a nice deep knee bend. Take the hands in the elbows. Full breath. In, feel the back body expand. And release. Take another one, inhale. And exhale, nice work. Okay, let's soften the knees, rise up nice and slowly so we don't get dizzy. Doing it first thing in the morning. Lifting all the way. You can gaze to the fingers. You can take a little back bend if you like, or you can keep the gaze coming forwards if that's preferable. Squeezing in the belly as we roll down all the way down, coming back to our plank or our kneeling plank. Set up the hands first, take a step back. Nice, strong position here. Weight comes forwards, exhale down into that low plank. Not going to hold it here, we're going to lift up straight away through the chest, finding that squeeze and lift, opening through the quads, the belly, the chest, and rolling back to down dog when you're ready. All right, let's take a little twist dog for no other reason than that I like it. So taking a breath in, we're going to take a reach over with the right hand on the exhale, somewhere along your right, exhale on your left leg. You can always take a bind on the inside of the calf. You can just tap down onto the mat, or you can hold onto the outside of the left ankle. Sit bones high, making sure we're keeping the weight and the hips and the shoulders even. Taking a breath. You can always take a deep knee bend here, or you can even walk the toes a little bit further forward towards the hand if you like. Okay, release on your next exhale. Well done. Replant the right hand. Inhale. And exhale. Go with the left hand right leg. Taking that opportunity to really rotate through the spine a little bit more. So we talk about kneeling twist. This is just another variation of our twist. Great to have in your sequence. Great for digestion, for kidney and liver function. Okay, releasing down, well done. All right, here we go. Come forward, find your high plank. We're going to come straight into a Superman. Now, if you do want to drop your right knee down, you can simply bring the left knee all the way around to the left elbow and extend it. That's one variation for you. If you're going to take that more challenging variation this morning, we're going to take the left knee around from full plank. Whenever you're ready, let's go. So drawing big semicircles with the left knee all the way around. We're going to take one more, really pinching and squeezing the left side of the body. Well done. Take the right hand down. Let's find side plank. So you're going to take this side plank variation. You can, again, if you had your knee down, you can keep that right knee down. You can just take a lift here of the left leg. If you are taking your side plank, make sure that you've got your right arm stacked underneath the right shoulder. And if you're going for your bow variation today, catch that balance. Knee in line with knee, which are in line with the hips. Squeezing into the belly so you're not sticking your tummy out too much. Catching that balance there, well done, hold and breathe. It's always more difficult to remember to breathe on the more challenging poses, but that's where we need to draw strength from. Inhale, we've got wild thing next, exhale, one more breath, and then we're going to roll it over into wild thing. Inhale, exhale, so step behind with the left foot, inhale, squeeze to lift, arch through the spine, take a gaze behind you. I've been working on a slight variation for a while thing. If you enjoy the openness of this pose and the back bend, then stick with this version. If you want to test your balance a little bit more, take the right foot, or right leg even, and wrap it over your left. You're probably not going to get as much back bend here, but you can really focus on lifting and working into the lower back and glute strength. Well done. Keep squeezing and holding for 3. Full breath in, 2. And we'll pop the right foot down, release back through center, find your full plank. So if you're taking kneeling variation, left knee down, we're going to take Spider-Man on the other side. So we've got 5 knee drives, let's go when you're ready. Bottoms down if you're taking full plank. Knee comes round the side and extends. Try not to put the right foot down in between if you can. Keeping the weight nice and even between both sides of the body. Lovely. We've got one more after this, and then we're into side plank. Squeeze and release. Nice. Drop the left knee down if you need to. Open up into the right hand side of your space. Maybe taking your bow variation, catching the right foot and drawing the heel towards the butt. So great stretch out for the quads. Really working hard to lift the waist up and away from the floor. Kneeling wild thing or full wild thing coming up. Or maybe wild thing with that cross-legged challenge on the balance. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale, release that right foot and squeeze the lift. Stretch it out, reach up tall. And we can either hold here, We can have a go at planting down through the right foot, lifting up through the left leg, and squeezing to lift up a bit higher in this pose. Either way, finding that flow of breath. For 3, well done. 2, 1, release the top foot if you've taken the leg back, then bring the right hand back down with control. Don't thud back down onto the wrist if you can. Well done. Inhale here, exhale back to down dog. We're going to take a reverse plank, L-sit, little flow next. So we're going to work our way to seated, so you can drop down onto the knees and bring the bum down, or you can take a little hop to seated, lifting the hips, taking the weight forwards, and see if you can bring the bottom down and those legs without making too much noise. So extending the legs out away in front, we're going to take this L-sit position where we're taking the hands somewhere between the knees and the bottom, and it's going to vary for everybody. We want to try and take the position where we can lift the butt off the floor. That in turn is going to really make us work hard through the centre of the body. So through your pelvic floor, you're going to suck up there. And then we're going to work into table. Okay, so make sure the legs are extended. Inhale. And start to press down with the soles of the feet as you engage the back body to lift up. Now let the gaze just travel up towards the ceiling or the sky. Exhale, slow release of the butt, coming down and hovering above the floor. So we don't actually want it to touch base. So spread out the fingers, make sure you've got a nice strong base. Inhale, lift hips. Exhale, lower the hips. Well done, we've got one more. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, lower, well done. Just holding it there for 3. Can you lift one leg up? 2, can you lift the other leg up? And 1, well done. Bums come down to the ground, cross the legs, plant the hands and shoot your feet back from there. Okay, so we're going to take a little press sequence. 1 narrow, 1 wide, 1 narrow. So make sure hands are underneath the shoulders, spread out. Try again to think about keeping the heels, or the weight of the heels, weight out of the heels of the hands is what I'm trying to say. So lower down when you're ready. Kiss the floor, press back up. Take the presses a bit wider. Inhale, exhale, lower, and press back up, and then back to narrow. Final one. Inhale, bottoms down, exhale. Nice work. Stretch it back to down dog. Have a little release out here. Take a breath. And then look into the fingers. Let's take some weight out of the arms. Bend those knees. See if you can come forward with straighter legs and less knee bend when you land. So we're floating the legs through, landing softly. Halfway lift, inhale, and then refold on the exhale. Feel free to circle the wrists a little bit here after that plank sequence if they're feeling a little bit tight. Maybe catch the elbows in the hands, have a little sway around. Well done. So we're going to start on our balance section today. Starting off in a toe stand, a wide knee toe stand. So make your way back to centre, and let's rise tall. Inhale, sweep the arms high. And exhale, hands down to the heart centre. Lovely job, all right. So wide knee toe stand. For this one, you want to really think about pressing the heels together. So if you can, just as if you're about to take a tree position on this lower ankle, see if you can bring the heels together. Okay, so you're in this balance first of all, really engaging in the thighs and the glutes. Take a breath, inhale, and then exhale, see if you can come down. If this doesn't feel accessible, come down into toe stand first, and then just nuzzle the feet together so you get that connection through the heels and the hips are sat directly over the heels. Hands can remain down, or if you've got your block and you want to find that extra height through the torso, which is what we're aiming for, we could release the hands if you've got the balance this morning. Taking the hands to the heart centre. Now feel free to stay here, that's fine. I'm going to take a couple of lifts and lowers just because I quite like the workout for the other thighs. Are you ready? Inhale, squeeze. Good, exhale, lower down. Knees come out wide. Same width as the mat, maybe a little bit wider. And again, one more. Inhale, press those heels together. Squeeze the inner thighs. Keep those heels lifted. And exhale, lower down. Awesome stuff, well done. Release the hands from there. Take the feet to parallel, we're going to sweep up into chair. So one sweep on the breath in. Inhale, rise up. Well done, so the feet are going to be together on this chair. Inhale, exhale, start to sink down. So really tighten up the centre here, tighten up the tummy muscles, so we're not overarching the lower back. And if you think about tucking the pelvis under Okay, and then sitting down, lengthening through the spine, sit bone shooting towards the back of the room, weight into the heels, arms lift or hands at heart center. Full breath in, think about that little mini tuck of the pelvis, that's really going to help you through the core. And if you can on your exhale, just see if you can lower just a smidge. There we go, juicy, juicy. Perfect, hold it there. For another 5, you've got this. 4, maybe a little lift, a little lower, tiny one, little pulses. Owie. 3, 2, bound ankle chair is coming up. And 1, oh, those thighs. Inhale, rise up, well done everyone. Rolling onto the outside edges of the feet. See if you can bring the palms of the feet together. So a little shuffle in. There we go. Inhale to rise. Exhale, hands come down to heart center, just on the off. Take the knees out nice and wide again. So really rocking onto the outside edges of the feet, bringing the butt down nice and low. This is great for strengthening the ankles and muscles in the feet. If you can, have a go at releasing the arms behind you, lifting up, opening through the chest, tightening up that belly, lengthening through the spine. Let the gaze just travel beyond the front edge of your mat here, so you're not jerking the head back at all. Keep that length flowing here, folks, with the breath. Sit bones coming down a bit deeper. Perfect. We've got a standing half moon next, so if you know that you need a block for this, or a cushion or a book or something like that, just grab your prop. And final breath, inhale. And exhale, release the arms. Sweep up high, reach up tall. Exhale, hands to heart center. And step out with the feet. Okay, taking the left foot underneath the left hip, underneath the left knee. We're going to have a go at that standing half moon. So start to take the weight into the left foot, big toe, little toe, heel. Taking the weight out to the right foot. Keeping a nice extended leg. See if you can seesaw forward just from this hip joint here. So you can have the hands at heart center. You feel super wobbly, just soften that supporting leg a little bit. Okay, so as I said, if you've got a brick and you want to use it, pop the left hand just in front of the left foot onto your brick. If you're happy to bring the hand down to the floor without compromising the pose, first of all, take the right hand to the right hip. I'm going to think about that opening and stacking of the right hip on top of the left. So don't worry if you're wobbling, that's okay. That's actually quite good for the muscles. Think about engaging this top leg first of all. So you can either flex the foot or point the toes, you choose. Okay, so squeezing and lifting from the outside of the thigh here. Right hand is on the right hip. If you're feeling okay with this, you can take the right hand above the left hand, opening the chest. So think about drawing that belly button round towards the ceiling, if you will. Full breath in, well done. Never easy at this time of the morning, your balance. That shift in the equilibrium as you're being laid down flat and then suddenly you're going into positions like this. So take your time. Full breath in. And out for 3. Well done. 2, we're going to come forward into a standing leg lift. It's a challenging transition, so start thinking about how you're going to work into it. And 1, I'd start by taking the gaze down, bending the supporting base leg, inhaling to lift the torso. Readjusting the hips so they're facing forwards, either taking a basket of hands around that right knee, maybe taking a basket underneath the back leg, or maybe just standing up tall and extending the leg. You can shoot the arms into the air. If you prefer to take a toe bind, it would be right hand to right toes. Okay, most challenging is releasing the bind, really firing up these big quad muscles to lift up tall. Squeezing the abs as well so that we're not leaning back. By squeezing the front body, it's going to correct us. But most of all, I want you to think about length. Well done. For another 3. 2, really working hard on this base leg. And 1, let's have a float through to revolved half moon. So right hand comes down this time. This is slightly different. You can pop the hand underneath the brick. We're turning the opposite way. So maybe take left hand to left hip. Inhale and exhale, take your twist. If you're happy with the twist, start to extend the arm. So the twist is going to come from the torso, not from the shoulder. So lifting up nice and tall. Kick up high as you can with that back leg. Lengthen through the spine, so making sure the torso is lifted as well, and we're not heading down towards the floor like a standing split. Take that breath in, and release that breath. One more, inhale, and head to triangle pose next. Exhale, nice, good job. Taking the left hand down, float the right foot to the back of the mat. You might want to readjust your stride length a little bit here. So you want a long stride length. Front heel wants to intersect the back of your right foot. Try to avoid sticking your bottom out here and float up with the arms. So really tuck in the pelvis, tuck the belly in, arms extend, take a breath. Set yourself up, feel balance. Exhale, start to reach with the left fingers somewhere out towards that space in front of you. Bringing the left hand down, maybe bringing the right arm up, maybe you prefer to keep the right hand on the right hip, just as we did with our standing half move to start off with. You can maybe look towards your top hand, over to the horizon, or down to that bottom hand. You might even want to use your left leg as a bit of a support, or you could grab your block and put that underneath. So it's less important to touch the floor, more important to find that engagement through the torso and allow you to lift. So enjoy this beautiful opening through the side body, our triangle pose. Trying to stack the arms and the shoulders, squeezing in the glutes for 3. And release 2. And 1. Good. Take the gaze down, soften that front knee and windmill your hands. Taking a big step back, find your plank, take the weight forward, exhale to low plank. Inhale up dog, we're going to take that same little flow on the other side. Exhale to down dog. And making your way towards your thumbs once more. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale to refold. So this time we're going to stand on our right foot. So bend the knees, inhale to rise up. Grab your block if you know that you need it. Starting off with our challenging standing half move. So right foot ground, big toe, little toe heel. Left leg starts to connect and we seesaw forwards. From the waist, from the hip, sorry. Taking the right hand down, left hand to left hip, inhale. And exhale, start to open out that left hip, stacking on top of right. If you feel comfortable, you might extend that top hand. Don't worry though, if it's not here today, that's okay. Focus on that length from crown of the head to the tip of the foot, whether you've got the foot flexed or pointed, and keep lifting up away from the earth with that torso. Find a little bit more twist, belly button towards the ceiling. For another 3, well done. 2, standing leg lift, coming up. And 1, well done. Take the gaze down first, soften the right knee, lift up, bring the hips to square to the front edge of the mat, maybe extend the arms, kicking out. Any of those previous variations are fine. So maybe holding underneath the back of the leg or around the knee. Feeling that strength into this strong right leg. Shoulders are way down the back. Full breath in. And out, maybe close the eyes, see what that adds to your practice today. Whoa. For 3, 2, well done. We're going to go for a revolve half move with the left hand down. And 1, let's go. Left hand floats down. So as I said, if you want to use your brick, that's fine. So think about the hips being square to the floor first of all, and taking the right hand to the right hip as you start to take that rotation. So I find it much easier with my hand on the floor, so I'm just going to move the brick, but you don't have to. So you can find that squeeze and open. Make sure the legs are engaged, and then lastly start to lift up that top arm. Right arm stacking over left, maybe take the right arm behind the lower back to encourage a bit more openness through the chest. So whatever variation works for you this morning, you take that, you enjoy it, tuck in. For 3, well done. Keep that breath flowing. Keep kicking up high with that back heel. 2, 1, gaze comes down, back foot flows towards the back of the mat. Again, you might want to readjust, taking the back foot a little bit further back, the right toes forward, your choice. Find triangle pose. Inhale. Exhale, take that reach, and windmill those arms. When you're ready, lovely opening, expansive pose. Gazing up, gazing out, or gazing down. Remember, you can keep the support underneath that right hand if that feels more comfortable for you. Obviously, you're taking a little bit away from the core if you're resting down. So make sure it's a light touch on the foot, on the floor, a light touch on the leg or the block. So you're really working the core here to lift you. One more breath, inhale. And exhale, gazing down, softening the front knee, and then framing that front foot once more. Stepping back, hands come down, we find our plank or our kneeling plank, and we take our transition. Inhale, exhale, lower down, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog, beautiful, hips heavy. Exhale, rolling through the spine, finding our down dog. Awesome stuff, well done folks. We are coming into a crescent lunge now, so I want you to think about lifting up that right leg on your next breath in, sweep it high. Inhale, exhale, bring the right knee in towards the chest and just squeeze and hold it there. Let the head drop, squeeze, and then sweep the leg high once more. This time we're coming all the way through. Inhale, knee to chest. Exhale, gently placing the right foot between the hands. Now you can drop down onto your back knee if you like, or you can keep that back knee lifted. Sweeping the arms high. Find that length through the spine as we drop down into the hips. Now you're going to want to check this right knee out. You want to make sure it's over the right ankle, so you don't want to drop it out to the side or going too far forward over the toes. You can always shuffle this back knee back if you want a bit more stretch through that left hip flexor. So taking the arms nice and high, maybe taking them to block behind the back if you need to. So remember, you can have this back knee lifted, that's your other option. Really opening up, powering through the legs and lifting the chest. Well done. We're going to stay here for another 3. Perfect. 2. Squeeze and lift those arms if you've got that interlock. And 1. Floating down with the back knee, with the hands, and starting to move the weight backwards into our half splits. Now, if my back toes are tucked, you can always untuck them as well. And you can keep the toes down on this extended leg, or you can start to bring the toes up towards the ceiling if that's where you're at. Just avoid swinging your hips around from one side to the other. You have got opportunity to look at your reflection in the glass or mirror or whatever, and just see if you can line up this right leg in line with the right hip, and make sure the left knee is in line with the left hip. So working into our half splits. If you've got space there this morning, start to extend from the crown of the head, from the heart towards the toes or the front edge of your mat. Lengthening out as much as you can. Okay, if you're up here, that's fine. If that's where your half splits is, that's totally fine. So you can creep the fingers forwards, but try not to think about rounding through the spine too much. I want you to think about length. Okay, length through the legs as well. If you've got a splits in your practice and you want to slide into those this morning, I know it's early, but it might work for you. If you've got your block to hand, you can pop that underneath your front leg. That means you can take some weight out of the hands maybe. And just breathe in here. Well done. Any variation is cool. Breathe it in. Suck it up. It's a really challenging pose, really deep pose, so bring that breath into play for another 3. 2, well done. And 1, awesome. Take lots of weight through the hands, bringing yourself out of your splits. Shove that block out the way, tuck the back toes. And we're going to start to rotate around to the left-hand side of your mat. So we're coming straight into a wide-legged squat. So with your squats, you want weight into the heels, feet are parallel, and sinking the butt down. So we're going to start by taking the arms out wide, inhale, and then exhale, sinking the butt down. Okay, so we've got a deep knee bend here. All right, if you have again the chance to look in the reflection, you want to make sure the knees are in line with the ankles, not moving forward. So I always think about sending the butt back that way. Arms are extended. If you'd like to have a go at eagle arms, we're going to take the right over the left, bring that little knot to the forearms, maybe take a knot at the wrist as well. So lengthening through the fingertips, gaze just travels towards the forearms, so we're not trying to look down or look up, just resting towards the mat here. Working into those inner thighs, into those glutes. Well done, squeezing that belly. Maybe a little pulse up and down. 5, 4, 3, good work. Doing well. 2, and 1. Release the hands. Walk the hands all the way back round to the front of your mat as you pivot on the feet. Back heel is now lifted. Right knee over right ankle. Inhale, sweep up. Finding your runner's lunge. If you don't feel balanced, just step out a little bit with your runner's lunge. If you can, see if you can keep the feet in line with the hips. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the arms behind, engage, squeezing the palms of the hands together. And again, inhale to lift. Exhale to release, squeeze, perfect. 1 more, inhale to lift. exhale, bring hands through heart center. Let's take a twist, left elbow outside of left thigh, stacking the elbows one on top of the other. Try not to collapse onto the thigh, lift up tall, find a bit more rotation. Deep breath in, and out, lovely, for 3, 2, and 1. Taking the gaze down, taking the hands down, frame the front foot, step it back, find your down dog. And let's float into crescent lunge on the left side this time. So remember, we're going to take that pause at the chest first, just get that engagement through the abs, and then on that second move forwards, we're going to float the foot right between the hands. So inhale, lift that left foot, press the right heel down a little bit if you can, find length through your 3-legged dog, and then inhale, draw the left knee towards the chest, squeezing those abs round through the spine, and then exhale to the lengthen again. Press down through the fingertips in the hands. Inhale, squeeze, and then gently step that left foot forward. So option to come down onto the back knee, or inhale, sweep up high with the arms. Take that breath, relax the shoulders down the back. If you can, take a little interlock of the hands, opening up through the belly, through the chest. You can take the gaze to the sky if you like, but keep moving down south towards the floor with those hips. Really strong legs in this one. Full breath in, well done. And out, enjoy this opening through the front of the shoulders as well. Great if you've been sat at a desk for too long. Final breath, inhale. And exhale, finding half splits. Float the hands down, frame the left foot, drop the back knee down, and exhale your way back into your half split. If you find that in your half split you can't bring the hands to the floor, you can always get a couple of blocks or 1 or 2, and just take the block underneath the shoulders so you can rest here. So if you're beyond this and you want to start bringing the toes up towards the ceiling, walking the toes forwards, go ahead. You might want to extend into your full splits as we did on the other side. So just let your body lead you and make sure that we're listening to what it's telling us. So if it's saying, no thank you, this morning, to go into full splits like my left hammy is, that's fine, I'm good with that. Just working wherever you feel comfortable. Think about length through that spine for another 3, 2, nice work, wide-legged, let's go for forward fold this next one, and 1, tuck the back toes, carefully making your way out of your splits and moving over to the long right-hand side of the mat this time. So it's up to you. If you want to take another squat, you can bend the knees, sink the hips down. I'm going to take a forward fold just because it feels nice. So hands to hips or maybe hands out to the side. Inhale and exhale. Start to float down. So it's hinging from the hips here, so we're not bothered about dropping the head down just yet. I want you to control that descent, keeping the spine long. If the hands will come down to the floor, take them underneath the shoulders. Maybe take them out to the ankles. Maybe take them out behind you. So it doesn't matter about getting your head down to the floor. All we want to think about is creating length through the legs, length through the spine. So I'm not worried about that head coming down. If it comes down, then that's fine, but don't force it. So bringing the fingers out behind you, pressing into the fingertips, inhale, and exhale. Well done. Again, if you feel like you need a bit more support, you can always rest your head if you've got a block. You can rest it on any height. I'm not staying here for too long. We've got our runner's lunge and twisted lunge coming up. Alright, as much as I'd like to stay down here for a lot longer, let's take the hands to the hips, or you can use your hands to align to lift if you're not feeling too strong in the lower back. So maybe softening the knees just a smidge. Inhale, squeeze. Rolling your way up with control. Pivoting on the feet, or you can walk your hands around as we did on the other side. Catching the balance, remember you can step out a bit wider if you're not feeling too balanced this morning. And let's start to flow from here. So hips come down, knee over ankle on that left side. Inhale, sweep up with the arms. Exhale, sweep the arms behind you. Press the palms together a little bit to really engage the triceps. Inhale. Exhale, sweep, perfect. We've got 1 more, and then we're taking our twist. Inhale. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Off we go. Right elbow outside of the left thigh this time. Squeeze it open, inhale, and twist, there we go. Squeeze that wine out of the liver. No, I'm joking. So finding a nice little massage for the internal organs. Inhale, lovely job. Drop down to the back knee if you need to. And Exhale, releasing back through center. Well done. Take that step back, find your full plank. Let's transition. Exhale, low plank. If you would prefer just have a little rest in child's pose, please do lift up here. Inhale. Exhale, back into your downward facing dog. Little wiggle out, and we're going to hop to the front of our mats for some core work. So lifting the hips high, bend the knees. Think about what I was saying before about, imagine you're bouncing up into a handstand, okay? So you're taking the weight of the shoulders over the wrists, and then we're going to swing our legs through, so seated. Okay, bend the knees, inhale, lift, make a little pause, and see if you can float through. Okay, so bound angle sit-ups. Bound angle, we take the soles of the feet together. You can shuffle away around the distance between the heels and the rest of the body. And then we're going to lower down, all the way down. Taking the knees out wide. Taking the arms above the head, making these nice little James Bond pointer fingers. Inhale here. Exhale, squeeze and pulse. Point the fingers between the legs for 5, 4, 3, 2, make sure those abs are fully switched on. 1, release the hands long again, inhale. Exhale, we go again. 5, 4, you've got this. 3, 2, 1, awesome stuff. Taking the heels down onto the floor and just walking them a little bit closer to the bottom. We're going to take a lateral side squeeze, okay? So take a breath, inhale. Exhale, reach for the left pinky with the left toes. Left finger, sorry, back to centre. Keep the shoulders lifted. Tap it out to the right side. Keep those shoulders off the mat if you can, maintaining that switch on of the upper abs. Perfect. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fantastic. Taking the knees above the hips. See if you can extend the legs. Maybe you can lift the shoulders off the mat as well. We're going to take double or single leg lowers. So you can either lower one leg and then lift, or you can try both legs at the same time. You can have the knees bent if that makes it easier. Keep that lower back planted to the floor. Well done, keep working for 5. We've got our wild card coming up. 4. Looking nice. 3. 2, really remembering to control that lower. And final 1, hold it there at the bottom for me, hold. Keep squeezing, you might want to turn the palms up towards the ceiling, press that lower back into the floor for 5, 4, switch on, 3, 2, and 1, release down, good, stretch out, take the arms above the head, point the toes, take a breath in and then squeezing the knees into the chest one at a time, have a little rock through the lower back, and then coming all the way up into seated. So our wild card before we start our Shavasana, I'll just demonstrate what we're going to play around with. It's a form of arm balance. It's asymmetrical because we're just resting on one side of the body. So that in itself is testing. The balance itself, I don't know, some people find it easier than others, as with all poses. Let's have a little look at it and see where you can take it today. So I'm going to start on my toes. I'm going to bring the left forearm down first. So you want to bring the forearm parallel to the short front side of your mat, okay? Now to start off with, I'm going to take my right hand and rest it underneath where my right shoulder is going to be. We take an inhale and a lift, and I want to walk the feet back a little bit, but you want a nice deep knee bend here. Feet can come back, hip distance apart, and then we're going to take, when we feel ready to move from here, and if you don't feel ready yet, that's fine, just build strength by holding here. We're gazing towards the toes at the back. We're going to take the right hand off the floor, feet in between the legs, and then see if you can wrap the hand around the back of your right foot. So you're going to press the heel into the hand, and you're going to draw on the heel with the hand. Okay, so that might, once you've got the bind, be where you want to stay. If you can, we'll have a go at floating up with that left leg. So you can have the leg bent, you can start to straighten, you can just start to play around with that top leg. Okay, so have a little go, see how that feels this morning. If you can't take the bind yet, work towards the bind. Just check out that balance. One little cheat, if you're really struggling, would be to take a block underneath your back heel. That could just help you steady the balance whilst you worked on the bind. Okay, so there's one option. We've got time to go on the other side, so let's go. Right forearm comes down, left hand plants, tuck the toes, lift the sit bones like you're in a modified forearm dog. And then when you're ready, left hand reaches between the legs and takes the bind around that back heel. Press down hard through that left ball of the left foot. I'm going to bring it a little bit further forwards. And then start to, when you're ready, lift up with the right leg. So take it nice and slow, you don't have to rush. You can take that knee bend. Try to keep the hips square to the floor. Because you're balancing on one side, you don't want to twist through the middle because your right elbow's down and your left foot is down. So see if you can work on keeping the balance central. So it's a good workout for the core, this one, as well as the shoulders, and you also get that nice stretch into this leg, which where the bind is as well. Alright guys, well done. Let's come on down into a couple of stretches and some shavasana. So by all means, with the wildcards, feel free to keep working on them. You can always take your shavasana a little bit later on. Just drawing hands onto the knees, let's take some hip circles. So inhaling, knees from centre, exhaling, rolling out, and then changing direction. Fantastic. Drop the heels down, extend the arms out wide, inhale. Exhale, let the knees drop to the right. Inhale, squeeze the centre, over to the left. Nice little release for the lower back, stretching out down the IT band as well, on the thighs as you roll one side to the other. Shoulders nice and heavy, close those lovely eyes. And then just releasing into your preferred position for your shavasana. So we're going to take 3 big breaths in here. Inhale through the nose. Draw in what you need. Release on that breath out. And again, inhale. And release out the mouth. Final time, inhale. And exhale. And you can stay here in your shavasana for as long as you like, or as long as your day will permit. I'm going to take the knees in and rock up to seated. You can stay there and enjoy a bit more time, working out some kinks, working out, drawing in positivity, and just enjoying that downtime, that little bit of me time. Okay, from here, inhaling. If you're joining me in the seated pose, bringing the hands all the way up on that breath in, and then releasing down to the heart centre. Thanks guys, well done everyone. Super job, I hope that's got you burning for the morning, got you fired up for the day. I've got a right dab on. Whew, it's hot in here for once. Let's hope the sun comes out, shall we? Well done everyone, take care. Namaste. Namaste.